If you are eager to hear about tip number 2 that I use to fight my way out of this beauty battle, stay tuned.
Oh, how beautiful. Oh, how beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, how beautiful. Oh, how beautiful. Oh, how beautiful. Oh, how beautiful. You wanna be beautiful. Oh, how beautiful. Oh, how beautiful. Stunning on the outside, precious on the inside, that's how you should feel. You gotta treat yourself, adore yourself. You gotta give your body time to heal, enhance your...
Welcome back, beauties. Thanks for joining me here for another episode of Holistic Beauty. Today we're going to be talking about tip number 2. Last week we discussed tip number 1 of how I fought my way out of this beauty battle and released myself from the thoughts, opinions, expectations of other people. Tip number 1 was where I discussed how I use declarations and affirmations to really change my mindset and to begin to change the way I spoke about myself and the way that I saw myself to help fight for freedom out of that beauty battle. Today, tip number 2 is forgiveness. Yes, forgiveness. Forgiveness has been a very mighty tool in my arsenal of fighting for freedom in this beauty battle. I had to forgive other people, whether they intentionally hurt me or not. You have those who, they just kind of don't know when to be quiet. You know those type of people. They just let anything come out of their mouth and it damages others. But you have others who are intentionally trying to damage you and hurt you. They have a little bit of malice in their heart and they're trying to say things to tear you down and things that can, pierce your heart and pierce your self-esteem for various reasons. Whether it be they feel bad about themselves, or whether it be they need their light to shine brighter, so they're going to dim yours. Various reasons. It doesn't even matter why. Nevertheless, intentional or unintentional, it did some damage. It hurt you. It caused you to think differently about yourself. It caused you to speak differently about yourself. And lots of the things that they said or did to you, you took them on and began to function in life very differently than you would have had they not said the things that they said. Forgiveness is freedom. Forgiveness allows you to begin to walk forward in such a newness in your life and not be held back to the past thoughts and hurts of what other people have done for you. As long as I was holding on to unforgiveness and all this pain and hurt of what people did and said to me long ago, it was very, very difficult for me to move forward and to begin to be a better version of myself, because I was always being pulled back into thinking about what happened or what they did or what they said. I could no longer play that victim role of I'm this way because they did this or because they said that. That's why I'm this way. It was time for no more excuses. And if I was going to live a better life, if I was going to accomplish some dreams and goals and really go after my purpose in life, I had to let go of all of that and be able to have a fresh start to move forward. So I had to forgive. I also had to forgive myself. Now, I know a lot of people don't really think about that, especially when we're talking about things that people have done to you. Your mind goes to, forgive the offenders, forgive the people who hurt you, forgive the people who said things to you that caused damage. But for me specifically, I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive myself for what I saw as time wasted. I looked at it as I had lived all of these years with pain and hurt, but also lived all these years not being me, not being able to be as productive as I could have. I think about all the things I could have accomplished if I wasn't held down and in bondage by all of that. So I had to forgive myself for that. I also had to forgive myself for, now I'm really hard on myself. I don't know if any of you out there are the same way, but I'm one of those individuals who I am hard on myself. And so I was very hard on myself and had to forgive myself for even receiving that stuff. You know, I had to forgive myself for believing the lies and accepting and receiving the expectations that other people put on me. I had to forgive myself for not being strong enough. You know, I would beat myself up for being what I saw weak and not being strong enough to ignore what they said or throw off what they said and just really go forward and shine in who I was created to be. I had to forgive myself for that because I was really inside my mind and inside my heart, I was beating myself up for it and just really looked at it as it was all my fault anyway in the past, because we want to accomplish everything that we can as possible in the future. I know I do, and I would think that you did as well. So we have to forgive. We have to forgive if we want to move forward into our future without anything or anybody holding us back. We have to free ourselves from thoughts and expectations of others. And one of the most powerful ways to do this is through forgiving them and releasing them and just saying, you know what? I am no longer going to use this as an excuse. I am no longer going to use this as a crutch. I am not a victim. I am taking control today of how I function in life, how I show up in life, and I am taking control of my own healing process, basically. I hope you beauties enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to hear about tip number 3, you will have to tune in next Friday where I share with you one of my favorite tips. I know that I probably say every tip is my favorite tip or every tip is powerful or whatever, but this third tip that I'm going to share with you next week is something that I use to maintain, something that I use currently today to make sure I don't fall back into where I came from. So if you want to hear tip number 3, be sure to meet me back here next Friday for another episode of Holistic Beauty. If you haven't already, go ahead and click like on this video. Go ahead, do it now. Also, consider subscribing if you'd like to receive all the notifications for my new videos that I upload every single Friday. So don't forget to subscribe so you can be part of this tribe of beautiful, confident women. Thank you for watching. Bye.